Hi, I'm Lindy, and this is the Native Voices of Alaska. In this series, you'll hear Alaskan Natives talk about their culture, various tribal backgrounds, and adventure stories. These are the stories you don't hear from the people who live them. Subscribe to hear more voices from Alaska.
So, Lindy, I wanted to share with you a song that I learned at my Dina language course. So the way they teach is mostly through song. So a lot of times, even growing up, I didn't know what they were talking about. But the songs is really a lot of how they communicate to young ones, and they teach through stories and songs. So this here is a drum that I made on a cultural day with my tribe. It's made out of deer hide, and in the back it's tied by sinew. So it was wet. We had soaked the hide, tied it on while it was wet, and then as it's dried, that's what creates the sound. And then for the drumstick, this is birch with a leather tip at the end. So the
beautiful.
song, oh, thank you. So the song is Nakanaga. It's about the Dina language and wanting to preserve it. So the first line says, the Dina language is happening again to you. And then the chorus is just the vowels. And so here we go. Dina Kanaga Yet New Dalan Dina Kanaga Yet New Dalan Wait, hey, yo, wait, hey, yo, wait, hey, yo, wait, hey, yo.
Oh, that was beautiful. I think it's going to be stuck in my head. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So thanks for doing this with me, first of all. I'm so fascinated by Alaska and the different types of native tribes here. Where are you from? What is your background?
So I'm Aleut. So my culture came from the Aleutian chain, and my grandmother was from Ninilchik. So our tribe, I belong to the Knights tribe, and pretty proud to be an Alaska Native. That usually people don't think I'm Native. So I'm very proud of that fact. My mother, though, when she was raised, there was a lot of prejudice, and they were not allowed to speak the language at all. So it was kind of the reverse for me. So for me, I like to be known as a Native.
Okay. Because you do have green eyes and lighter colored skin and hair.
Yeah.
Have you ever been prejudiced against from the Native cultures because you don't look Native enough?
I think culturally, there's some subtleties that all Alaska Natives have, and we're very kind usually in our caring about people. A lot of times we're very soft-spoken, and that kind of pulls through the caring and the compassion we have for one another. So Native people, the local tribe or Native people that I meet, when I tell them that, my tribe is Kanaitsi, I'm from the Ninilchik village, we can immediately, we're speaking the same language. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, that is. So that's on the Kenai Peninsula, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's South Central Alaska. And then you said that the islands, or you're talking more West Alaska?
Southwest, correct.
Oh, Southwest Alaska.
Yeah.
Okay, like down by Juneau and
well, it's more of the Aleutian chain. So, because I think of Southeast as being more east, Southwest.
Okay.
So when you look at the map of Alaska and this part that kind of is all the islands, the Aleutian Islands, so it's from there. So the Russians, when they owned Russia, this, what I was told as a child is that mostly like their criminals or their unwanteds were sent to the Aleutian chain, hundreds of years ago. And so when they found the Aleuts there, they conquered them, and basically they became kind of slaves, the Aleuts. And yeah, so I don't know how many greats, but my great-great-great-grandmother, her name's Agrafena, and she ended up in Kodiak. And so from that, one of my cousins, one of the Lehmans, he had done this complete research on the history of all of Agrafena's children. And so a lot of the natives here that came from Kodiak or on the peninsula, I'm related to a lot of them. So
That's
yeah.
special. So you start talking with someone and you find out how you guys are related.
Yes.
Does that happen a lot?
It does. Well, I kind of know some of the family names, and so yeah, it does.
That's really special. What a big family.
It is. Cousins upon cousins, right? Yeah.
And so what is the name of the language that is locally spoken?
A lot of times, locally, everyone hears it pronounced Dena'ina, but the true pronunciation is Dina'ina.
Dina'ina.
Mm-hmm. And so there's the Dina'ina. I took a course on it, so from the college, and they're wanting to restore it and have it preserved. So there's where we live here in Kenai, it's called Inner Dina'ina, Tyonek across the inlet, that's outer, and then up towards Anchorage, that's Upper Dina'ina.
Interesting, by the regions. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all called Dina'ina. Do you know a few words of it?
I do. So, yes. So, Lindy, Yagli do, which means, how are you? Or there is another one is Kut. It's guttural, so it's Kut un Yagli. Kut un Yagli, which is good morning.
I don't think I could. Okay, flute.
Yeah. I'm not doing it justice, but it comes from back here. Kut un Yagli. Thank you.
It's like a whole different way of using the mouth and the neck muscles. And
it
everything.
is.
So you didn't really grow up learning your language, but you're getting into it now.
I am.
Are you having that hard difficulty of training new muscles?
I am. So they should have another course again this next fall. So I'm planning on taking that too.
That's exciting. I'm excited for you. So something else I've always wanted to ask different natives is, in the lower 48, they tend to think of Alaska natives as Eskimo. What do you think about this terminology? Is it offensive?
I was, growing up, that's what I always heard, and there's the Beach Boys song that talks about, an Eskimo girl, and I don't know, it never bothered me because that's what I knew. But it has become considered a derogatory term. And so I do understand that. I try to respect that for others.
Okay. All right. Thank you for showing that balance between how it's turned into now versus how it used to be. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. How about, have you ever lived in an igloo?
No, never an igloo. Yeah. As a kid, there was lots of snow and you would, make a little cave and pretend it was an igloo. But no, I've never lived in an igloo.
Okay, gotcha. So what about being a native do you especially appreciate? Anything about your culture or that's something that's dear to your heart?
I love the friendliness that we all share. I really enjoy the stewardship that they feel towards our native lands, the all of the culture, the animals, how they want to preserve that culture, and I feel that that's very honorable. Alaska, there's been a lot of different entities that have used resources and the showing respect for all of the resources. Sometimes, like the dip net fishery with the resources, sometimes it's taken for granted, and it's really something that's special, that's unique to this area, and it's wonderful if it can be preserved for all to share. For example, when I was a little girl, my daddy would take me fishing on the river, and he would take me in a boat, right, with a motor, the whole thing. And it was lovely. It was our time together. But on the Kenai River at that time, there would only be one or two other people on the river in boats. And, you know, it was kind of cool. You'd run across your family or your friends and you'd be talking with them. Where now there's so much congestion. And it's a lovely fishery. I'm really glad that everyone can enjoy that. But preserving that for future generations is something that is important to acknowledge.
It is a very valuable resource, so I can understand that. You just want the respect and the culture to show that same appreciation, right? And so that's something that it's just part of the Native culture.
It is. Okay. It is.
That is beautiful. I'm glad that you have that appreciation for this amazing place that we live in. Alaska is so special. Every time I talk to people, they have some story of a bear did this or a wolf did that. Or when we were out in the wintertime trying to do something for survival, it seems like everybody has these amazing Alaska stories. Do you have any stories that really stand out to you? Anything from fishing, hunting, wildlife stories, anything? What stands out to you?
I think the funniest story is my Uncle Bud, and he was a young teen. He wasn't even a teenager, and him and his buddy, they were off rabbit hunting, and so they had their bags, for with their hunting, and they ran across these two little cub bears. Yeah, and but they were young enough, they didn't realize Mommy had to be there. So, but they decided they wanted to have one as a pet. So, yeah. So, between the two of them, what they decided was Uncle Bud's buddy scared the little cub up the tree, and Uncle Bud had the bag. And so the buddy was shaking the tree and wanted the bear to fall down, and Uncle Bud was to catch it, right? So yeah, I know it's
Oh no,
I know.
Mom,
Yeah. So that what happened is as this friend's shaking the little tree, another baby cub comes behind, and so now the friend's scared, and the friend runs up the tree, and so he's stuck between two cub bears. Yeah. Thank goodness. Yeah. So thank goodness Mommy never showed up. Yeah. And then the friend jumped down and they ran off. But oh my goodness, right? That's kind of a scary little story, but yeah.
But how uniquely Alaskan, like little boys wanting little bears.
Yes, as a little pet, right? To think it would be a pet. Yeah.
How big do you think these bears were? They had to have been pretty small.
Yeah, they were. They were pretty small. Yeah.
Aww,
to fit into a bag, right? To fall off a tree. They thought they could shake it off the tree and fall in a bag. Yeah.
Adorable and scary at the same time. Yep. Okay. So you talked about fishing with your dad. Is fish something that you still enjoy eating?
I love fish. Yes, I do.
What is your favorite native food?
Smoked salmon. Absolutely. Yeah.
What do you like to do with it?
I like it just plain. I like it in spreads on crackers, on a charcuterie board.
I agree with you. So is there anything else you'd like to add today to share with people?
I think that Alaska is a beautiful place to live, and I think it's wonderful for everyone to be able to get to experience that, to experience the land, the beauty, the resources, and the fishing. The fishing is wonderful.
Well, thank you for sharing with us today, and thank you for sharing that. It's been really nice talking with you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lynn.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yes.
So the Kusbuk that you're wearing, what kind of fur does it have on it?
This is wolf.
wolf. How special. Do all native villages wear kusbuks, or is it certain kinds? Do you know?
I'm not really sure. The Kusbuks for where I live, traditionally they do not have like the little ruffled skirts. That I believe that's more like Inukik or Yupik, but here locally it's more of like a shirt tail.
Okay, a little bit shorter.
And a little shorter, absolutely.
I love it. It's so beautiful. The fur and the color and the patterns.
Thank you.
Very striking. Thank you.
My cousin made it for me, so it's very special to me.
Even more so because it's from family. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.